I think Councilmember Pennington made a point that I just wanted to make, which is that if there's limited unused general obligation funds, which obviously would be more flexible, then most of what we could do with our service project program would be very limited to basically street and road type projects and maintenance. And so I just want to manage expectations for our constituents as well. I was at a Civic Club meeting yesterday, and one of the requests they have is a community park. Well, that might be limited if we don't have unused general obligation funds, and I just want them to understand that, because I don't say, well, I thought you had $1 million. And so there are limitations, and obviously you'll be limited there as well with our request based on what is applicable via the dedicated drainage street renewal fund. So just wanted to make sure we put that out there. I know Councilmember Pennington mentioned it. I wish we could draw more money from unused general obligation funds, but obviously those may have already been previously allocated. So at least in the short term, those may be limited. Maybe not, but I'm just curious, Mayor, will the limits on the unused general obligation funds change calendar year to calendar year, or based on fiscal year, or how does that work?
Councilmember Work, well, first, you have articulated well, one of the challenges is managing, for council members, is managing expectations. A little more than $500,000 out of DDSRF funds is not going to pay a whole lot of streets. So sidewalks, minor drainage, inlets, that sort of things would basically be what be happening. The unused general obligation funds, bond funds, there are limited, and they would become available as projects complete. So that I can't tell you exactly when they would be available. We have already distributed to council the 2014 unallocated or contingent funds, bond funds, which total just under $3.7 million in total. But we hope to maintain those for emergency repairs and so forth. And the Bradford Amendment does not impact those funds. So I should agree with you. The council members should anticipate DDSRF funds only, and they would have limited utility, because they will, as Councilmember Bradford stated, be spent completely in compliance with all laws and regulations.
Okay. My main thing was just to manage expectations, because ideally, if we did have those unused funds, that would be a more appropriate, more flexible, source for more projects, if you will. But with the tight focus on drainage, street, what we can do from that fund and those 4 categories that fall under that fund, I just want to make sure we're limited, because I don't want to have a wish list and then you have to say no, just to make sure we comply with what's required by charter.
And well, I would expect council members to do their homework too, but Councilmember, I will remind you that we also set aside $5 million, so $454,000 per council district. So out of general fund dollars, which is, that's where you would find your flexibility. There'd still be an allocation process. It'd have to be legal expenditures and so forth, but those would be flexible dollars. These would be much more prescribed, but, and again, very, very limited availability of bond dollars.
Well, thank you.
Councilmember Costello.
Thank you, Mayor and colleagues. Just a couple of quick items. And I understand the frustration that my district council members are having in trying to meet expectations. The problem that we have is that we have a infrastructure system that has been neglected for 20, 30 years. And the problem is very, very large. So I can appreciate what you're saying. The issue here is public perception. And the public perception is that what we're about to do violates the spirit of the creation of rebuild use. And I understand the amendment. The amendment is bracketed. I understand all that. We're trying to tell them we're doing it just the way we had proposed when it got passed. But it's creating political fire out in the community, and this is not a good thing to do today. We still have yet to be able to create this confidence out in the community that this is a good program. It is a long-term program. And so I'm encouraging my colleagues not to vote for this, at least for taking the money out of DDSR fund. But then my other question is to the administration. If there is no money allocated in the current CIP for this $6 million, and it is thought that the projects will be maintenance related, is this amendment even valid? Because it's drawing upon maintenance dollars from the existing fund.
Councilmember, by definition, those maintenance dollars are available as projects or needs arise. And as I explained to Councilmember Davis, my interpretation